Bubbly Steve is available for pre-order at shopclownfish.com. That's shopclownfish.com. You've got less than a month to pre-order this 15-inch plushie. Check them out. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And there it is.
Yep.
There it is. Disney has added paid line skipping.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be adding it to the Genie app, just as we reported on, what, like a week or two ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and the backlash has been fierce, and the prices are going to go up astronomically, I think, at Disney if you want to actually enjoy your time there.
So now, to clarify, before they did this, they used to have the Fast Pass system. And what the Fast Pass Plus was before you go on your trip or when you get there, you could pick 3 attractions, like one e-ticket and like 2 other ones each day. And then if you use those, you can get more that you could get, like, you know, go to the front, not front line, but you can get into a shorter line. That was free with your ticket. You didn't have to pay extra for that. Well, now you can get something similar to that-ish. For $15 per person per day in Walt Disney World, and $20 per person per day in Disneyland, and they're calling it the Lightning Lane. And for that extra amount of money, you can pick 1 attraction off the list at a time and have a spot there, and then you can pick another one if there's something available for this extra money. This is not for the big rides, like a lot of the e-ticket ones, the big ones. No, those are ones that you're going to have to pay if you want to jump the line. And those ones, the New York Times tried to get a list of what attractions they were and how much. They wouldn't even answer the New York Times.
Yeah.
And tell them, well, which attractions? How much are we talking? They won't answer those questions.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this for sure. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 231,000 subs. Thank you for the support. We do talk a lot about Disney, having worked in and around the company in various capacities, and currently Geeky is running piratesandprincesses.net, which is an objective Disney fan site, and she did report about a week ago that this was coming.
Well, I got this from Touring Plans. I mean, to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Now, we had heard the Lightning Lane rumor before. We had heard the Genie Plus issues before. That was nothing new. The paid, obviously the paid per attraction was coming because they were already doing it in Disneyland Paris. All that was nothing new. It's just they put it together. Now, apparently the standby, just getting standby isn't out yet, so that hasn't been mentioned yet. Yeah,
so we're going to talk about this. New York Times did an article on it, and then we're gonna talk about the blowback. And they were
there's a lot of blowback.
Kind of dodgy. So here's the deal. Coming from the New York Times, every ride at the resorts will continue to have a traditional standby queue. That's where you get in line and you wait for like an hour or two. For those willing to pay $15 a person at Disney World or $20 a person at Disneyland, there will be Genie Plus. The upgrade charged per day allows visitors to choose the next available time to use the Lightning Lane at a variety of rides, including classics like Haunted Mansion and Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. One of these selections can be made at a time. So basically, this is a replacement for the Fast Pass system, with the ultimate number of fast boardings that people can squeeze into in a day, depending on the length of stay and overall attendance. In other words, no stockpiling. Okay. However, popular rides will not be available for Genie Plus. For the most mobbed attractions, Disney will offer Lightning Lane, and the price will fluctuate based on date, attraction, and park for a la carte choices. Okay, a bit like surge pricing for Uber. Guests will be limited to 2 of these upgrades in a day. Disney declined to discuss its pricing plans for the option. The company also declined the list of attractions, though one will be Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, a gentle Disney World coaster.
Yeah, I never understood why the line's so long for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's not that great. Well, they don't. So you can have the a la carte. You'll be allowed up to 2 a day per group. So you only get 2. So that with your 1 Lightning Pass would have been your 3 Fast Passes. But people were like, oh, well, that's not that much because $15 per person per day is pretty good because you pay more than that, you know, with Max Pass or Express Pass. Yes, but the difference was with Max Pass and Express Pass was that you couldn't just pick one ride. You could just use it to get on whatever ride to get into the fast lanes and to get on the attraction. You could just use it for one payment to get through, and you didn't have to, you know, per each time you wanted to use it once and wait, and use it once and wait, and use it once and wait. You get to use it all day.
Yeah, so here's Here's the one thing we have a question about too, and they weren't very clear about
That's the
this.
first thing I wondered.
Is there are a lot of things they're not clear about. Okay, so if you need to purchase Genie Plus, they have the a la carte menu. I don't think you're going to be able to go in there and be like, all I want to do today is ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. That's it. I don't need Genie because I don't need the other stuff. I think you're going to have to purchase Genie Plus first, and then
They're not clear.
add the a la carte. Because I think how it's going to work is it's going to work like Disney Plus Premier Access. You can't just buy Mulan. You have to be a Disney Plus subscriber first, and then you can buy Mulan.
Yeah, they're not clear about that. I talked to somebody else who said that they didn't think that you had to buy them both, but they don't really say. And then something else that was a little bit interesting, people were bringing this up, annual pass holders. They have a lot of annual pass holders, and they have the new pass in Disney, the Key Pass or whatever, Disneyland. And with this new program in place, they're not going to want to pay $15 extra a day just to make sure that, they get to go ride attractions in the parks. See, that's dumb. And that's what they're banking on because they don't like people having annual passes.
So here's a scenario. You're paying $100+ just to get into the park.
Yeah, 120 or more.
$120 just to get into the park, but to actually enjoy your day in the parks and be able to ride more than like 2 things, you're going to have to pay $50, $60, $100 more a person.
If you even can get that, because it sounds like you're only allowed 1 attraction at a time with the Lightning Pass, so you might get 2 or 3 in a day, maybe, for that $15, $20. But then if you want to ride other things, you're gonna have to pay more. So you're talking like easy. It could get to be like $50, $60 per person per day.
Oh yeah.
In addition to the overpriced for a theme park price you pay just to get in the damn gates.
And we're going to talk about this. Josh D'Amaro, who's the chairman of Disney Parks Experiences and Products, said in a Zoom interview, he said, this allows us to, number 1, create a better guest experience.
I don't see how.
Bullshit. It should also be obvious, but a better guest experience is better for our business. Number 2,
No.
It allows us to best utilize our capacity. You can distribute demand much more effectively through your ecosystem.
Basically, they can put openings that you can use to disperse you. It's basically so they can control you.
Yep. Obviously, there is a revenue attached to this. That revenue we get to reinvest in new experiences.
Yeah, maybe take some of the money away from all your stupid executives that you don't need, that you're overpaying, like D'Amaro. Pay your cast members better. I might agree to if you're paying your cast members better.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, look, it's greed, pure and simple. And I get, as long as people are willing to pay these exorbitant prices to go to Disney parks, that they're going to milk it for as much as they can milk it. And there are people that will pay thousands of dollars a day to go to Disney and get a primo experience. We know this.
This is what Reimagine Tomorrow actually meant. When they talk about privilege and entitlement, they're talking about this. They want to know if you have the money, that you're privileged, so they can know who you are, so they can send you their deals, because they know they're going to try to come after your money to get you to come to Disney.
Yeah, Disney only wants privileged people. And it's interesting because people are complaining, of course, Twitter, but they're talking about how Disney is quietly using money to create a class system.
I said it in my one article. Yep. I totally said it. Class war.
That's exactly what this is. There are going to be 2 Disneys. You're going to have Disney for rich people, which is what they want, and then budget cut Disney for everybody else. Now, that's always kind of sort of been the case, but it's never been this in your face before.
Mm-hmm. Well, it used to be, no matter who you were, if you went to the Value Resort or if you went to the Deluxe Resort, short of getting a tour guide or something like that, you had the same experience, the same opportunities. And now it's like, if you're somebody who you scraped together every penny you could and you barely had enough to get there, once in a lifetime trip, you're going to be put at the back of the line compared to somebody who just, oh yeah, $100 for me to ride this attraction. Okay.
Is the Disney company aware that genies in stories are usually not helpful? Mm-hmm. Usually they will grant the wishes, but at an unforeseen price. Maybe they figured it out. And then we've got down here, Disney Genie presented by Bob Chapek. Remember when Robin Williams didn't work for Disney for years because he didn't want the Genie to be used in the marketing to sell Aladdin, and now they're using Genie to sell rich people premium access to rides. Feels weird. Because
the people that are in charge now weren't the people that were in charge then.
Yeah, that's just it. And the thing is as long as rich Karens are willing to pay prices like this is going to continue. And Disney's, they're going to take your money. They've been catering to the rich for a while.
Want my customized itinerary, a coffee shop, a bench, the train, and more food to get to spend money.
That's basically it. I mean, look, what's going to happen is to ride the good stuff, you're going to have to pay extra. That's where we're going to...
That's a stupid.
Yeah.
This is all unnecessary.
Okay, so Ashley Carter, you sent this to me.
Wait, real quick before you do this. How much did they spend on putting the Fast Pass Plus system in like 10 years ago?
Oh, it was millions
It was supposed to be all this money, and they put the system in. And it was all the system. We had the Magic Bands at Walt Disney World and everything else. It was this big system. They were like, took all this time, all this money for. And now they're just pissing it away.
Yep.
I mean, they'll still use it, but now you'll use it only if you pay extra,
So, okay, Diz Twitter. How are we feeling about Disney Fast Pass? Great for vacationers, terrible for locals.
Yeah.
Here we have, compared to what I was expecting, fearing, it isn't that bad.
It doesn't sound that bad until you start adding all the extras.
Yeah, it seems to provide more of an even playing field.
No, there wasn't an even playing field. No, how is this an even playing field? Let's talk about that. When before, anybody who came in, whether you stay at a deluxe or a value, all got your 3 Fast Pass Pluses. How is this a level playing field, but that wasn't? Please explain.
This guy says agreed, but it's a gateway to something worse. Think about if Tron and Guardians is accessible only by paying an upcharge to ride. That could happen. It could be like there is such a massive demand for the new attractions that other than paying, you're not going to get on it. If we have, it'll be like, oh, we're going to open it up to people to pay first. And if we have any slots available, which we won't, and it's going to be like the boarding pass situation, but worse. If we have any slots available, then the riffraff can get on too.
Well, it's so sad to see Disney continue to be fully inaccessible to folks who enjoy the parks on a budget. Exactly, which is where we come from. We're here for the consumer, and it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, it is. Disney no longer wants middle class families, and they definitely don't want poor families. It used to be that
diversity and inclusion, my ass.
Yeah, diversity and inclusion, my ass. You want to talk about inequality? Okay, the people who work at the parks probably couldn't afford to go to the parks
if they weren't given it.
If they weren't given free passes. I mean, that's where we're at with it. You think the maids working in Anaheim? You think they can afford to go to Disneyland and pay for Genie Plus?
Well, when your own people, when price out your own people, then you have to ask yourself, what the hell are we doing wrong?
Yeah, I mean, look, Walt would. A lot of people say a lot of things about Walt Disney, right? But one thing he said is he wanted the parks to be accessible. He wanted them to, people to be able to come and have a good time and not break the bank. And Disney now has become a luxury destination. $6,000 for 2 nights LARPing at a Star Wars hotel, and now you got to pay extra to ride the good rides.
Yeah, for the stuff at the LARPing at the hotel was supposed to be included for the plebs at Galaxy's Edge. When they pitched it to everybody, they were going to do all this immersive stuff. They took it out, and now you have to put it behind a paywall. It's literally DLC.
Yeah, that's what this is. Like, you're going to be in the park, and it'll probably be like, ding, oh, look, you want to skip, oh, you're waiting in line for, Buzz Lightyear. Do you want to skip the line right now? $15 a person, and you can skip. You can get right on Buzz Lightyear. Isn't your time worth it? Isn't the time with your family worth it? Like, you're going to get the Disney trip they show you in commercials, but only if you're willing to pay through the nose for it.
I'll tell you what the Disney difference is. The Disney difference is either them, telling you to bend over or them stealing your wallet while you're not looking. That's the Disney difference.
Yeah, here, this part right here. This is it. Just been discussing it with my family. We all feel it tarnishes the whole experience. Imagine being a parent telling your child, no, sweetie, you can't ride that one today because we can't afford it. What about the families that scrimp and save just to get into the park?
We've been there.
We've been there.
I mean, it's not easy. And
we
for some
brought
people,
our own food. We drove down.
Yeah, for some people, they spend every penny, and it's much worse now. And they save and save and save, and they're just going to go one time because they've been promising their kids, and they want to take them just once, so they can, because that's what their kids want. And then, they give up all kinds of stuff just to go do this, and then they get there and they're like, well, that was shit because we couldn't get on anything.
Yeah, we've had people say that. Like, they won't go back. They're like, we spent all this money to go on a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and it was unenjoyable. And, like, you could have taken that money and probably gone, like, 2 or 3 other vacations that you would have enjoyed more. You can go to actual Europe for less than it costs to go to fake Europe at Disney. And, but again, they don't want middle-class families. Universal's going to take them. Universal has no problem.
Right. For now, until they up it for Epic Universe. But
yeah, I was going to say, but for now, Universal's still pretty affordable.
Basically, just increase their admission prices. Yes, that's basically what they did. I mean, I don't understand why they couldn't keep FastPass and attraction, you know, going on for free, but maybe it will increase the prices because the people will be mad. Because people were mad last time they increased prices. And annual pass holders got a huge price increase a couple years ago, like 25% price jack on annual passes. And you know damn well, come when they renew, when they start again, like in October, I bet you money there's another price hike.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there will be.
They'll take away some stuff.
Pent up demand. I mean, feels like another gut punch in a series of 6 months of gut punches. I'm shattered, just completely shattered. As if Disney parks weren't expensive enough, they're taking away the one free thing that helped everyone be able to enjoy the parks. Now people have to wait in the hour-long lines just to ride 5 or 6 rides. Resort Ears Radio, which is a Disney podcast, totally sick of Disney with their handout for more and more money from vacationers. Meanwhile, at the same time, cutting back more and more, sucking the magic that's left right out in front of us.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I want to point out that we've been pointing this out for years, and we've gotten called so many names because we've been calling this shit out for years, and now it's just becoming, you know, glaringly obvious to everyone else, including the mainstream media at this point. But you know, we've been saying this for years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, about guests without smartphones. They don't want you. If you can't afford a smartphone, they made that very clear with the app, the My Disney Experience app. You don't have a smartphone, they don't want you. You can't afford a smartphone, especially, even if you don't have one just because you don't want one, they don't want you.
I think the problem Disney's going to have, besides the cost, is that they're making it so complicated. Like, FastPass Plus was kind of complicated for people. And now you're making it Lightning Pass, and you can do a la carte and all this other shit. It's just going to make it too, you know, convoluted. Yeah. And people are going to be like, I don't want to spend extra money to be sitting there all day on my phone to see if I can get in a lightning lane. And, you know, it's just going to, at least with FastPass Plus, you know, it sucks because sometimes you couldn't get them, but you could kind of plan out what you're doing.
It was already convoluted. You used to be able to...
And what's worse now...
Yeah, you could just, you know, 10 years ago, you could show up in the parks and you might not have an itinerary, but you could kind of figure it out. Now, everything has to be regimented.
And now it's going to be worse. Oh, it's for easy flexibility. No, this isn't. It's easy for flexibility for Disney, so you know where to release like openings for people, so they can control the parks and they can control where you go. And this person, and they always have data on you. They always talk about that during the investor calls. Our data we have on all the guests, and all
magic
the people,
bands
for all the so they know like, oh, this person always has a tendency to buy, you know, Dooney bags or something. Yep. Quick, put an opening over there and get them over there because there's a new bag in that store that way. You know, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. Give them the option to buy a discounted Fast Pass, Lightning Pass to Space Mountain because the gift shop has something we think that's like, why? Just why? I mean, if we didn't cover Disney, I can honestly say at this point that I would dip out. I would just be
the only reason we go is because that's our job, and people, you know, depend on us to cover things, or we send people to cover things. I would tell families at this point, if you really want to go, by all means go. Definitely do it. If that's something that's really important to you and it matters to you and you love it, yes, do it because you love it, 100%. But otherwise, no.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. Another rumor confirmed.
There Not every part of it, but most of it.
Most of it.
Give it time, though.
Give it time.
Give it time.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.